Hey everyone, Tony Winston here, Jazz Piano College. Having a bad hair day, so I'm going to wear the hat. But going to go through a few songs, doing some rootless voicings with the right hand and just doing a walking bass line with the left hand. A lot of keyboard players do this. And even if you don't play this way, it's good to know these voicings with right hand or left hand. They're good to improvise with and especially great for accompanying. Okay, so the first one's going to be Summertime by George Gershwin. And got a couple of reharm tricks here too. Like summertime and the living is easy. That's more of a girl key, I guess, because it's pretty low for me. And I was watching Adam Neely's latest video, and he was talking about the chord, that chord from the Led Zeppelin song, and he didn't know a name for it. Now, come on now. It's simple. It's just an A minor seventh, A minor major seventh, like that, with the 9, that's all. And the root's missing, all right? That's why it's confusing to him. He's a bass player. If it doesn't have a root, he's lost, I guess. Not really. He's a smart guy. Yeah, and just without the root, it sounds great. Anyway, Summertime, you could basically just do this. Like a 1, 2, and a 5, but this is a nice kind of variation. All right, so let's go through that quickly. We've got A minor, here's the rootless voicing. You just take any A minor seventh and change the root to a B. And then going down to this one, there's lots of things you could do there. Just do it like that maybe. Still on A minor seventh. No, go to G minor seventh here. And once again, the root's moved up to the 9th. And conveniently, it moves into shape 2. Now, if you were up here, like this, then you see, once again, it's a G minor chord with the root moved to an A. And then it really moves smoothly to the C dominant 7th chord. And then right here from F major 7th to E, it's an altered dominant. And anytime you do either shape 1 or shape 2 on a dominant chord, you can go to the tritone like this with the bass. Very common to do. And bass players like for piano players to play these rootless voicings, so it gives them that freedom. Now this time I did, instead of the shape 1, I went to shape 3 there, give a little diminished kind of sound. Flat 9 in there. All right, so one more time from the top. We'll go further this time. Right, that's Summertime. Let me find another one that would be good. All right, this one looks good on a clear day. All right, so I got a little lost in there a couple times. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so I just used this rootless voicing. Any major or minor seventh chord, major and minor seventh chords, just take the root, move it up to the ninth. We've got the root down here anyway. Now, that's C7 with a sharp 11. You might think altered for that, but don't. When you think about these shape voicings, the ninth, the 13 fits really nicely with the sharp 11. And by the way, this I believe is shape 4. I haven't gone over this very much, but it's just like shape 1, but you move that note up there, and that gives you the sharp 11. Now we don't have a third, but it's going to sound right anyway, so either one of those is going to work. Onwards we go. And now here's B minor 7. These shape voicings are great for that. It's just like a G7 there. But a lot of times I don't bother with a shape voicing on a minor 7th chord. Minor 7th chord is rich anyway, so I just like it like that. You can put that shape 4 on there if you want to, but that really kind of jazzes it up a lot. All right, now, because if you look at the melody, it's got a sharp 9 right there, so that seems like it should work. And notice my bass line here. Instead of going the typical way of getting from E to A, come up that flat 9 there to the sharp 9, then to the third, and that takes you to A minor very nicely. Something I don't hear bass players do very often, but it certainly works. And here, once again, that sharp 11 chord. Just use, an unaltered dominant. Right? There it is, got the 9, the 13. Now, for a diminished chord, you can play the diminished chord there. And this is shape 3, and I believe I went down a minor third like that. You could use any of these, and they'll all lead nicely to the next chord. And right here, probably an unaltered is best. Maybe a quick altered in there. So like I said, shape 1 or shape 2, if you're on an unaltered, the bass player can always go like that, and it turns it into an altered. Didn't really sound that great that time, but so sounded nice that time because I used an altered voicing. Then I went a tritone away, and the unaltered voicing going nicely into C. Now it's very typical in this particular spot in the song to put a diminished chord in there, and I used shape 3, and I added the major 7th in there. Yeah, that's pretty wild. It's like taking a diminished chord and moving 2 of the notes up a whole step like that, and then keeping that one in there anyway. Now, a minor 7 flat 5, a lot of times you can just use a dominant chord, especially an altered dominant. And that's what I think I did. And then another altered dominant there on that E7. And put a little diminished chord in there if you want to. And I think the chords should move up like this. Like that. And then finally go to the D7. All right, so many great turnarounds. That wasn't one of them. That's the Art Tatum turnaround. That's the Joe Henderson turnaround. Don't use that one. All right, so these rootless voicings work great for these, of course. All right. And like I say, if you're working with a bass player and you're doing these with either hand really, it gives the bass player a lot of freedom. Like here, you can do E or B flat, either one, and then here A or that one, and this one or that one. And even if I do an altered chord, it still works. So it doesn't matter if it's altered or unaltered. The bass player has that choice of using the tritone substitution. All right. Using the rootless voicing there a little bit in my improvisation. This is something I'm trying to really learn how to do. Yeah, I waited till I'm almost 67 years old to learn how to improvise and do a walking bass line at the same time. I can kind of do it. It helps to throw in a bunch of chords from time to time. It's not that I just can't do it. I just have very little experience doing it. So I've been working on, one of my favorite songs, Joy Spring, and working on that. Somebody who does it really great is Dave Frank. He's got a good channel there and does lots of master classes about famous piano players. So check him out if you like. And hey, that's it for today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I tip my hat to you. See ya.